Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, here as always with my co-host, Aaron Coe.
What's up?
Today is Thursday, April 1st, and happy anniversary!
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Happy anniversary! Who would have thought we would have been talking into the void for a full year straight? No one listens to us, yet we still keep chugging along.
It's crazy. I didn't know how long we would do this. It was sort of like, you were talking about wanting to maybe do a podcast, and then was like, let's go find a couple of microphones and just record shit.
Yeah, I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but the camera angle originally was my phone taped to this wall, and so it was all crooked and shit. And now, I mean, if you were to take a look inside this room, it's pretty surprising to where we've got. But it's been. I mean, obviously, this hasn't been like a money endeavor or anything. We've lost plenty more. We've lost everything we've spent on this has been a loss. So, but no, it's all been worth it.
It's been a lot of fun, a lot. We've learned a lot. So
definitely. I feel like we've gotten better, and hopefully we will continue to get better. But so, all right. With that being said, we do have an NCAA tournament update as well as some NBA news, and it's opening day. But before we get into all of that, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at AaronCoe29. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And without further ado, let's hop into the tournament update. So we got our Final Four set: UCLA, Gonzaga, Houston, Baylor. So just how incredible of a run for UCLA here. I mean, a lot of people had the play-in winner of MSU UCLA beating BYU in the first round.
Yeah.
But almost none of them had UCLA winning that play-in game.
No, I loved that I got a couple of cheap wins for picking Michigan State / UCLA. Yeah. And that automatically moves through, even though I fully expected that to be Michigan State. So.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone did. I listened to quite a few. Not a ton, but a decent few analysts talk about it, and they all had MSU winning that. Yeah. Really, just kind of didn't even tossed aside UCLA as even a possibility to win that game. Right. Weirdly enough, and now they're in the Final Four.
Well, we've talked about momentum before. Yeah. And sometimes I believe in it. Like I'm definitely a victim of. Oh, they've got the momentum now. UCLA had terrible momentum. They lost, I think they lost in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament. They had lost a bunch of games. I think they were in a losing streak coming into the tournament, if I remember right.
Well, I know they started off really hot and then got really ridiculously cold. I don't know exactly what the streak was to end there, but yeah, it was. I mean, they looked terrible. They looked really bad.
Yeah, they did. They were not a lock to get in. If you look at the way that it was ranked as far as the committee goes, they were one of the last 3 teams to get into the tournament. Now, obviously, a lot of teams get in from small conferences that win their league, and so UCLA wasn't. I'm not saying they're one of the 3 worst teams in the tournament, but as far as teams that to get in, they were one of the last 4 to get into the tournament. So they were very much on the bubble.
There's just different expectations when it comes to a Power 5 school. Sure. So it's You don't expect a team who started off so hot, and then if you just look at the second half of their season is legit one of the worst teams in the Pac-12. Right. You would not expect them to just turn whatever momentum, turn that around and just be able to really almost, I don't want to say cruise to the Final Four, but they've taken care of most of the teams that they've faced, and it was an incredible game. What was it, last night? I don't even remember. 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Whatever.
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And then, obviously Gonzaga, probably the most dominant college basketball team in how long? A decade? 2 decades?
Well, yeah, there hasn't been an undefeated team since the mid-1970s.
But not just undefeated. They're blowing I think they've only won 1 game by less than double digits this year.
They're just crushing everybody.
And they'll be down at the half too. It's not like, I think weirdly enough, being down at the half and then winning by 12, I think that's more of a mark of a dominant team than just kind of cruising the whole game. Because if you can be down and then just flip that switch, kind of like the Chiefs, kind of like the Chiefs of, well, not really last year, but the year before for sure. And, Yeah, just an incredible squad. I regret not picking them to win. Everyone was saying Gonzaga,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to be contrarian.
I'm
so
still on Baylor.
Yeah.
I picked them to win the tournament, and I don't know. I mean, if you asked me to pick today, it might, I don't know which way I would go, but I think Baylor's going to give them some problems, but I thought USC would give them some problems. I thought the length up front would be defensively and being more athletic than Gonzaga's bigs, but just the skill that Gonzaga had. I mean, they scored almost 50 points in the first half, and I thought that was going to be more of a defensive game. And they're like, yeah, whatever, Mobley boy, get out of my way. So I was surprised with that. Johnny Juzang, I mean, for UCLA has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
He scored over half their points in the last game.
And I didn't realize, I saw him go out with the ankle. I did not realize he's sprained that thing like 3 times this season. That's wild. And to be able to come back into the game and just still take over, not only just come back in and, have a solid impact, but to really take over the game,
right,
is just incredible. And it speaks to how good of a player he is. Now, I have no clue. I don't look at really draft stock for guys. I only hear about the top few that are going to go. Like, do you know what Johnny Juzang's draft stock is like?
I'm not sure, and it's interesting with him. So, first of all, we can probably blame him for the transfer portal starting to heat up going forward, because he was at Kentucky, didn't play much.
Oh, yeah.
Transfers and has been a star here in the tourney, especially. He was, not a huge factor early in the season, but has come on and obviously been nails in the tourney. He's he reminds me of Brandon Roy, actually. Like, if you watch him play, and there's not one thing that just makes you drool. Like, he's not hitting 30-footers. He doesn't have a crazy, outside shot. He doesn't. When you watch him, you don't feel like, oh, he's super quick or super strong, but he's just smooth, and he just has so many different ways he can score. So yeah,
unfortunately, also reminds me of Brandon Roy because of the injuries. That's the problem. That's half the reason I asked the question is,
right.
I mean, when you see a guy sprain his ankle, the same ankle 3 times in a season, what do you make of that for a draft?
I think I think they'll look at that, and is it something that just needs, like, he just needs to really let it heal and hasn't been able to do that, or is it truly a chronic issue? Brandon Roy had knee surgeries in college, and there were a lot of people that wouldn't have drafted him as high, and he obviously was one of the best 2 guards in the NBA for a few years until a knee caught up with him. But
looks like NBA Draft Room is projecting him as a 2nd-round pick next year or the year after.
Okay, yeah, I wonder if he'll slide up a little bit. But yeah, like I said, he doesn't. He's not. I don't think he's a lottery pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's. What he seems like? He seems like a Popovich kind of guy.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there.
Middle to late first round.
Yeah.
That ends up having a nice career. But yeah, we'll see. Or did he just get hot for a while?
Yeah.
That's we'll find out.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: when you're facing off against a team like Gonzaga, you expect Gonzaga to really roll through them in this game. But if UCLA can put up a fight and Johnny Juzang is a part of that, I think that alone raises his draft stock.
And the interesting thing with Gonzaga is no one has given them a game. If someone does give them a game, how will they respond?
True.
Because they have not been pushed.
BYU.
Yeah, but that game was pretty meaningless. Like,
Gonzaga
was a number 1 seed already. Like that game, like, I don't. That
You're
wasn't
talking
a
tourney games.
Huh?
You're talking tourney games. Like, they haven't been pushed in.
They haven't been pushed basically the whole season, other than BYU.
Yeah.
And that conference tourney game. I mean, they could have lost by 50, and it wouldn't have changed their seeding.
Yeah.
They were a number 1 seed no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different when it's a game that you really care not that they didn't care about winning, but it's a different mentality.
Yeah, no, I understand.
When you're already in the tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll see if somebody can give him a game and how what that means. They've got a freshman point guard. How does he respond with the pressure on?
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, and then we got Houston and Baylor. Houston has been their games have been hideous, but they just kind of pull them out. They have a tendency to blow out bad teams, but I want to say they've had they have not won a ton of huge games this year. I might be completely wrong with that, but
right.
Unfortunately, I really think there's going to be 2 blowouts tomorrow. I really think so.
That's where I'm at with this too.
It really sucks, but
I would love to see UCLA do it. I just don't think that they have the firepower to keep up. It's going to have to be a game in the 50s, and I just don't see how they can hold Gonzaga to that. If USC couldn't defend them, I think UCLA is gonna. I'll talk more about that one later.
Okay. All right. Speaking of college basketball, a legend is retiring. I guess there was speculation of this before, but I guess I don't follow that closely with college basketball, especially the storylines. So I didn't see this coming, personally. So a legend, and we'll see who steps in. It'll be really interesting.
Yeah, well, and Pete Carroll's like, what? He's only 70. I don't think, what the hell, dude? But yeah, anytime a guy gets into his 60s, it could happen at any time. I didn't really think about it. They obviously had a disappointing season this year, so I don't know. You wonder, maybe he lost his passion. I mean, you just never know as a coach. You never know the day that it's going to happen, and apparently it happened sometime between yesterday and the start of the season. Last off season. So obviously a legend. Did amazing things at Kansas, and then when Dean Smith retired, another legend of the game, all-time great. He moved from that's like moving from 1B to 1A in college basketball, but he was a North Carolina guy before, so it was a kind of going home for him. But yeah, I mean, what a great career. 3 national championships, right?
Yeah, I believe
at
so.
Kansas, he was a little bit of they had a few chokes.
I always forget
chokes at Kansas.
I always forget he coached 15 seasons at Kansas. This is like half of his career.
Yeah. He's a Kansas legend also.
I was 3 years old when he moved. I always forget he's a legit Kansas legend too. That's wild.
Yeah.
To be able to be a legend at both of those schools, I mean, it just speaks to how great of a coach he is. You got the resources, but at the same time, the pressure and
There's been a lot of people fired from those schools.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who steps in. Brad Stevens was speculated to be interested in the Indiana job, and then completely shot that down. Someone pointed out on Twitter that Brad Stevens went to UNC for grad school.
Okay.
So wow. I mean, who knows? But he seems he said he's a mass hole, so I don't think he's moving. But anyway, also Mike Woodson got hired at Indiana. Never coached in college before, hasn't had a ton of success, but also, actually no, I'm not gonna say he hasn't had a ton of success. He's been with terrible franchises, and also those franchises have had their best years with him. So in that span, so I'm not gonna say he's a bad coach, but it's just a weird hire.
I don't know. I don't get that one. I don't know. Go get a big college name. Go get Dana Altman from Oregon or something.
Why Mike Woods? I mean, I know he has connections there, but why? I don't know.
We'll see. It might be a freezing cold take, but I'll be surprised if 5 years from now, if he's still the head coach there.
No, me too. Probably the most overreacted to news, in my opinion, this week. Lamarcus Aldridge, you see a 7-time NBA All-Star going to Brooklyn to team up with Harden and KD and Kyrie, and then obviously Blake Griffin too. He averages 13 and 5.
Yeah.
Like who? Like cool. He's gonna provide some offense on a team that already has like more than enough offense, and he's not that great of a defender.
Yeah,
like who fucking Lakers
yeah.
in 6? Who cares?
Yeah, they just aren't real interested in finding guys that can defend. Are they?
Weird. It's weird that
take the over every game.
It's
every
weird.
Game.
Yeah, Blake Griffin pointed out I forget if this was a tweet or a quote from an interview. He said, "All I've heard is, I've spent the last 2 years hearing about how washed I am, and now all of a sudden, yeah." But I will say he has dunked like 5 times already.
Oh, he can still dunk.
He can still dunk. Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So who cares? Who fucking cares? Personally.
Yeah, I thought he's a big name, but the name is bigger than the production at this point for sure.
Also, he took a vet min, which is pretty cool, I guess. But
just wanted to be a part of.
Andre Drummond making his debut for the Lakers. Right toe contusion.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's great. Yeah. So obviously the real news here is Andre Drummond going to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I've seen people being really concerned about the fact that he has like really terrible stats when you look at his usage rate compared to his points and his field goal percentage and all this shit. I don't think LeBron would have approved of this unless he would have been sure, similar to what he did with Dwight Howard last year.
Right.
You don't like LeBron's not going to bring in a guy that he just wants to rebound and play and protect the rim if he thinks that there's any chance that he's going to come in and try to take all these touches.
Right.
Like that
right.
AD and LeBron, they like had multiple meetings with Dwight Howard before signing him. And I know Dwight Howard already had his stint with the Lakers that went terrible.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Andre Drummond is you look at his stats and you could see a potential for that happening again.
Right.
And he also, before last season, apparently he was telling his teammates he thought he was a max player. So, I mean, you hear that and you think like, oh, could this be another Dwight Howard in LA for the first time situation? And I don't think so. I think LeBron, they're going to fucking cut him. Like if they have any like he's just going to be gone. Yeah, he's not going to play. Like it's,
I don't see him really disrupting.
So with that being said, I like this so much more than the Aldridge signing, and I know I'm a Bron stan, so like it's it might sound like I'm just trying to convince myself that I like one more than the other, but at the end of the day, when you got like. Here's the thing.
The fit is much better.
I would have liked Andre Drummond. If Andre Drummond would have went to the Nets and Aldridge would have went to the Lakers, I would have been the other way around on this.
Yeah.
The Nets need rim protection. The Nets need rebound. Like you know what I mean? So it's I think just Andre Drummond adds a lot more value to a team that can already get enough buckets.
Yeah.
Than Lamarcus Aldridge at this point in his career.
It's just it's a better fit on the roster, on either roster probably.
There were other buyouts that I just who cares?
Yeah.
It was small stuff. So, let's see. Okay, hold on. What do we got? Okay, it's opening day.
It is opening day.
It's opening day. That's what I want to talk about next. I got a little mixed up.
We're going to the World Series this year, right?
Yeah. Go Mariners.
I always believe that until for about a month.
Yeah. So I think it's actually, as we're recording this, it's kicking off like right now. Yeah. There's let's see, the Blue Jays are up 1-0 on the Yanks. Yeah. So obviously, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know how much baseball I'm going to watch this year. I have no idea, honestly. I watched almost none last year, to be completely honest. I watched almost none.
Well, last year was a total joke.
Yeah, that's true.
I will, with the Mariners, it's on TV in the house.
Yeah.
And I will walk through the room and watch for 30 seconds and then, if I'm not doing anything, I might sit down and watch a couple innings. I rarely watch a whole game.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I roll with it. So it'll be on in the house, but not maybe watched, a ton.
What's nice about baseball compared to like football and basketball is you really can kind of just watch box scores and stats and kind of get a good idea.
Right.
Like more so than basketball where it's like, I'll just use Kyle Kuzma as an example. Kyle Kuzma will have a night where he's like 1 for 5 from the field. And if you look at that box score, you're like, Jesus Christ. But he has nights where he's like the best hustle player on the court.
Yeah.
And he'll be diving for balls. He'll be great on defense. Maybe he doesn't have a ton of steals, but he'll be stopping guys. And so you can't really see that impact in the box score. But with baseball, if Kyle Lewis goes 1 for 3 with a home run, he went 1 for 3 with a home run. Like that's what happened. So,
and of course, he's not playing today.
Yeah, I will say you can. Oh yeah, great. You can live.
So Mariner.
Yeah,
so Mariner.
That's very Mariner. But you can. I say with baseball, you can just live. You can understand what happens in a baseball game purely based off box score and highlights.
Yeah, like I used to just back when I got the newspaper, I would just go scan box scores and just see how certain teams did or certain players that I like to follow.
Yeah.
And, I didn't always watch a lot of it, but I was a total bot, and I'd look at the leaders, who are the leaders, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. I don't want to say I'm excited for the season. That's probably a little bit too much, but it's going to be an interesting year, for the Mariners in particular. We're just, I think this might be a year where they're not a total joke, and we start to see some guys emerge a little bit more.
I'll put it this way: I'm excited to get excited this year.
Yeah,
that's what I'm not going to be excited this year for the season because this is still we're still in developmental stage. But I'm excited for this year to make me excited.
Yeah.
That's where I'm sitting at. And Giants Mariners at 7-10. The line was even, but now it's SF minus 115. Probably maybe Kyle Lewis being out did that. But
there's so many guys on this roster that we're gonna find out. So
it's weird seeing Marco Gonzalez on opening day.
Yeah,
still weird.
You got Pax in there. Yeah. The starters have a chance to be pretty good, So do Sheffield and Dunn, do they take another step forward? I think Sheffield showed a lot of promise last year, looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Dunn, I'm not. To me, I think that guy's ultimately going to end up being a long reliever type of guy. But
well, here's the thing.
I hope I'm wrong.
Hey, here's the thing, man. If one of those two develops to be a really good starting pitcher and the other one can be a solid reliever, then at the end of we still need relievers.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So it's like, I would almost, this is kind of a weird take, but I would almost take one of them being a solid long reliever and have the ability to sign a huge starter right when we know we're trying to make a run.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. It's just baseball has these weird ways of thinking about things. And
there's a couple of arms that that aren't on the team yet. That I think will be by mid-season. So you might, a couple of these names, you might see a Paxson get traded if he does well.
Yeah.
And you bring up a young guy, we may see some things like that.
Do we know what the lineup's looking like? Did they release the lineup?
I have the roster here. I don't know exactly what the lineup's
So whose service time is getting manipulated?
It's hard because so the pitcher whose name I can't remember, that looks really studly, he maybe he should be on the team, but he also didn't pitch in any games last year.
Yeah.
So the Mariners have kind of a built-in excuse of, well, these guys haven't played above. Some of these guys barely played Double-A ball, let alone Triple-A. They played Single-A ball and maybe a month in Double-A in 2019. So they have some built-in excuses here. But, looking at the infielders, I think Crawford is what he is. He's he won a Gold Glove last year. So he's I don't know that he's a Gold Glove guy. He makes some flashy plays, and he's a very good defensive player. He's not going to crush it with the bat. Ty France killed it in spring. I'm curious to know if that was just inflated spring stuff or if he can really bring it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Evan White, is the guy going to be able to hit at all? Is he going to be able to? He's not going to be able to hit my weight. Can he hit his weight?
I saw this funny conversation. I think it was with TJ Barr on Twitter about Evan White. I think TJ said something along. I don't know if it was him or someone else. Someone said something along the lines of, like Evan White is actually a pretty he's a good power hitter. He has good power, and then someone in the replies was like, he's hitting 168. How does he have good power? And it was just the funniest. And then TJ just dunked on him. It was the funniest thing. Like he's hitting 168. How does he have good power? That's fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's gonna be able to hit ever. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I am concerned about that. He didn't show a whole lot in spring.
Are you willing to sacrifice Gold Glove first baseman for a bad bat?
I mean, if he could hit
250,
I was gonna say 235. Like if he could, then maybe. But you can't have somebody in the lineup that
below
can't
the Mendoza line
that can't hit 200.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
At first base.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like
that's
a
tough.
defensive whiz at first base. I'm not saying it is important to have a good first baseman. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason. Who's the big fucking left-handed guy that the Mariners had that couldn't play defense at all, but they tried to make him play first base? Oh my God,
Lomo?
The fat guy that went to the All-Star game.
Lomo?
No, after that. In 2019, he was an All-Star and then fell off.
Vogelback.
Vogelback.
Yeah.
So you can't go there.
Yeah.
I would rather have Evan White than Vogelback, but no, I mean I would rather have I'd rather have a guy hitting 280 with 30 bombs that is average than a guy hitting 150 that's he's a defensive whiz. I mean, yeah. How many plays does a first baseman really have to make in a game?
Yeah.
I mean, he made some great plays, don't get me wrong, but you're playing first base, you got to be able to freaking hit.
Yeah.
That's a hitting position.
It is. You're right. I agree with that. Although I will say, just like the idea that we can just trade, I mean, well, actually, literally, maybe you could trade, but the idea that we're giving up 280 and 30 bombs at first base to have Evan White, I think is inaccurate currently.
That's probably not fair to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there were an opportunity to get a 280 30 bombs guy, then yeah, sure. Yeah. But it's especially when he's young, obviously, just give him.
Yeah.
Give him time.
I to me, start him out. If he struggles, they have to send him down. They have to let him.
Yeah, I think you do. It's tough because it's which is worse for the confidence, just staying up and sucking or being sent down.
To me, if he's not hitting 200, you just can't. You're gonna completely ruin the guy if they haven't already done that.
Yeah.
That was the thing with not having minor league baseball last year. Is you couldn't. What are you gonna send him down to the alternative training site? I mean, that doesn't benefit him either.
Yeah.
So I agreed with him being on the roster last year, but if when AAA doesn't start for a few weeks, so if he's not hitting 200, you gotta you can't just let him sit there and suck. You gotta try something. Mitch Haniger is gonna be interesting. I think if he does well, he'll get traded. I think he's gonna be 31 years old.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah, he was 27 when they traded for him.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, if he has a good first half, you can bet he'll get traded.
Jesus.
That's
wild.
Yeah, if he still exists, I'm not convinced he still plays baseball, but apparently he's gonna start tonight,
all right. So. Well, yeah. All right. You got anything else on opening day?
No, well, I'm just glad there's a real season this year, and I am looking forward to. I do want to go to a game this year. I'm excited. What's the last game, live sporting event you went to? Do you remember?
Well, technically, I saw a few innings of a softball game a couple weeks ago, but
yeah,
real one was Kobe game.
Okay, Did we go to SDSU Kawhi retirement night? Was that before that game or after it?
Oh shit! I think that was after. yeah.
I was trying to remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
That was back to back though, wasn't it?
They were back to back nights, so I can't remember which one was which.
It sucks that I've already lived the best sports weekend I'm ever gonna live. Because.
And how much more we soaked that in. We did.
We did.
Imagine if we'd known that.
Oh my god, dude.
You know
what was right around the corner?
A year and a half later, we still haven't gone to another game.
I will say that I felt like I feel like I almost didn't have as much of an itch as other people because I ended it on such a good weekend of sports, and it was so close to the end of it too.
Yeah, how nuts.
Yeah. So, all right. Basically, what's going on with Deshaun Watson?
Oh my God.
So he, hold on. Let me find the tweet.
So I've read.
There's a funny take.
Read quite a bit about this. We're up to 21 accusers now. SI interviewed someone who's not part of the lawsuit. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that. Yeah.
I read the whole article.
Oh wow! Okay.
And it was a pretty long article.
Thank you for doing that, because I would not have. Yeah.
But basically, and I'm not going to get into the details of what happened. What he did was over the line and weird, but like he wasn't like forcing anyone to do anything. Like he just stuff like took his towel off and just let it kind of dangle. And maybe said a couple things that were a little suggestive.
Okay, but for the most part,
it was wrong. Like
for the most part, based off what you read, wrong, bad, but redeemable. Like we're not he's not fucking Bill Cosby, is what I'm from trying to get feelers for.
I like that. What I liked about the SI story was that she's not, at least not currently, part of the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. So. Really nothing for her
no
to
stakes
gain.
for her, yeah.
So I may be underselling. Like he did some very inappropriate things, but he didn't grab her or force her to do stuff.
Right. I'm still gonna judge him probably forever. This is always gonna be in the back of my mind when I think about him for forever. But I want to get my feelers out there for him. Like, is he a monster? Is he a Weinstein, fucking Bill Cosby? And it sounds like he's not quite there.
No.
But still fuck him.
It's really bad.
This is a funny take from Dragonfly Jones, who is a part of the Jenkins and Jones podcast, my favorite NBA podcast. Go give it a listen. Not that they need a shout out from us, but So there was a report that came out that Watson's attorney says there are 18 massage therapists who support him. And then Dragonfly Jones says, upping the masseuse count on Deshaun's roster to 50 in an attempt to prove that Deshaun is in fact very normal and not at all a weirdo is a wild strategy to roll out. It is a pretty wild strategy to roll out.
What the hell?
Why do you have 50 masseuses,
and that's
bro?
In a year, year and a half, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know what the normal thing is for an athlete. My guess is most athletes primarily have one, and maybe they have a couple that they go through to for specific injuries or issues like that.
They gotta have one that travels with the team, right? I mean, it's not like they need one in every city.
Yeah, and they probably I think Russell Wilson has his own or stuff like the big money guys.
Brady obviously has
But I don't know. So I'll just say this: I have never had a massage.
I haven't either.
I don't even like getting a haircut. I don't like someone touching my hair. Yeah. Let alone shoving their fists into my ass cheek is not something that I'm while we're having a phony conversation is not something that I would probably enjoy. I've heard that they're great, but he obviously has a problem, and 50 what? Yeah, so at the just by virtue of having 50 masseuses or however you say it, but having 50 alone, it just makes you a weirdo, and then whatever happens beyond there, you're just more of a weirdo, and is probably not surprising. Now there are some of the claims are that he did some stuff that was pretty bad. So I just don't want to get into the details, but So I don't know what to believe with all that stuff. But here's the thing: if you have 50 different massage therapists,
there's something wrong with you.
You have a problem.
There's something wrong with you.
There's something ain't right. So whether he's just a weirdo, like a guy in a trench coat walking down the street flashing people.
So I'm trying to get a feel like,
or a serial rapist. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's like where I'm at right now. Like is weirdo an accurate word or is monster an accurate? Like, where are we going here?
I don't know that anybody really knows.
And again, like
other than those, massage therapists.
Again, at the very minimum, he's a weirdo. like bare minimum, he's a fucking weirdo. So,
It sounds what I think he was doing was scheduling all these people and then just kind of seeing if he could push stuff.
Yeah.
And then overstepping bounds quite often with it. So
Bro,
I don't know, man.
It's like one of those. It's every athlete that has. It's like you're Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Like what?
You could walk into
hire someone to act like a massage therapist.
Seriously,
like,
if that's your fetish,
bro, go do it. Like get someone to I don't know.
I mean, he could walk into a bar and say, "Hi, I'm Deshaun Watson."
He wouldn't have to say it.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have to.
He wouldn't even have to say it because they know.
Yeah, especially if he's in Houston
and have however many people he wants.
Everyone in the bar,
way.
Whoever's there. Yeah,
and a lot
dudes
of them,
and chicks.
Yeah, and he could say,
everyone in between too.
Meet me at my crib with and have a fucking massage therapist.
All the theys and thems, all of them.
all the pronouns.
Everyone, yeah.
I don't know, man. It's so gross.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's gross.
Yeah. All right. Moving forward.
You wonder where his career goes. Like, is he gonna get suspended? Is he said he wasn't gonna play for Houston, but Houston can't trade him. Like, he's untradeable.
So the I don't know if I think I sent a tweet to you about this. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but the Roethlisberger precedent would say he's probably gonna get suspended. Yeah. But also I still don't even know the details of Ben's case, and I don't want to go into that either. Yeah. But I've heard that was worse. I think I don't know. Regardless, moving forward, Tyler Lockett got the extension, got the bag for
big bag
for 69.2, and I think 37 guaranteed, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
So here's the thing: better than letting him walk, in my opinion, and this contract would look a lot worse if the other ones that were signed this offseason didn't look so good.
Yeah, agreed.
The fact that we've gotten these great deals makes me not worry about this that much.
And I haven't seen the breakdown exactly of it.
Me neither.
Per year. I don't know that that's been released yet.
Yeah, I don't know what cap hit is.
So I'm assuming that this was a combo of we want to extend him, but we also want to lower his cap number for this year.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason for the big bonus. So it's a combination of the two. Yeah, I mean, he's the number I looked at, I'm like, oh boy, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I think sometimes I underrate him. If you look at his numbers, like he is an upper half of the league.
He tied DK for touchdown. What's DK without Tyler Lockett? That's a genuine question.
Yeah.
Like, DK's still a beast. I'm not saying DK's still a Pro Bowl level, top 10, top 5, whatever you want to say, receiver in the league without Tyler Lockett on the other side. But actually, is he though? Is he a top 5?
You gotta have somebody.
Is he a top 10?
Sort of threat.
Like, Tyler Lockett draws so much of that attention. Just by virtue of that, you should give him a bag.
I mean, if you look at the Seahawks season, especially early when we were cooking, it was like DK would have a huge game, so they double him, and then Tyler Lockett tore up teams. I hope that this new offensive coordinator will be a little bit more creative. Well, with both those receivers, but I feel like Lockett is a kind of a Swiss Army knife that you can have him go deep. He's obviously great on the Russell scramble drill, but can we throw him some, have him line up in the slot and do some damage there?
Here's the thing, man. Cooper Kupp, real successful with the Rams.
Yeah.
And how much of that is Sean McVay, I don't know, But I do know Shane Waldron kind of looks like Sean McVay, but a little uglier. And I also know that he was with him for enough years to where I feel like you could see what he's doing with a guy like Cooper Kupp and retain that information, put it into a guy like Tyler Lockett, and grow his level even higher. And I think he's a top 15, top 10 receiver in the league right now.
Yeah, I think there's more to his game than what we've seen. I think he's been just having him run deep all the time. Or run a lot of deep patterns. I don't even think that's his. He's quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like his quickness hasn't been used to the extent that it can. So I hope the new offense will use him more in that way, and I hope Russ will get rid of the damn ball. That's part of it too. Throw the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Just do it.
So who's gonna be the number 3 receiver? That's a question you raised, and I don't know the answer to. Who do we have on the roster?
Has
David
Pete
Moore?
called you yet?
Is David Moore on the roster?
No, he signed somewhere else.
Fuck, I don't even. Yeah.
And he,
where did he sign? How did I miss this?
I can't remember.
Okay, anyway, go ahead.
I've never been a big David. I mean, he made some plays.
Yeah.
But he's not a consistent guy. Like, he made a few big plays here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But you never saw him have like 8 catches or big third down conversions. He made
really tough catches.
Yeah, he's a good contested ball guy. But you need a little bit more.
Oh,
than
Panthers.
That. Panthers. Okay. Yeah. I'm just he's a guy. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
He's a jag. So I don't know. Who's the little guy? Freddie Swain.
Swain, yeah.
Can he emerge to give you some more of that quick game like I was talking about with Lockett? Will they find a guy in the draft? Will somebody get cut that they could pick up? I don't know. I don't. There's no real answer there, but they need. I feel like they need somebody else there.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I mean, you can't just have two guys trying to get everything done. And I'm hoping that with Gerald Everett. I mean, Gerald Everett will be the number 3 receiver.
Yeah, he's gonna line up. I think he'll line up. In the slot a considerable amount or on the outside. So,
and if you get creative enough with guys like Disley, Parkinson, and Gerald Everett, Gerald Everett is athletic enough to make those kind of moves, I think you can kind of fill that hole of a true number 3 receiver. Obviously, you're going to have guys like Freddie Swain there too.
Yeah.
Just kind of like the defensive line last year, number 3 wide receiver by committee. Kind of something like that.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's out there still.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Just don't sign Josh Gordon again. I'm fucking done with that guy. The guy's like, oh, cool, I get to play tomorrow. I think I'll go get wasted. Great. Why don't we celebrate after the season, dude?
Yeah. Nah, you just gotta time it, bro.
Yeah.
It's like every NFL player does it. Yeah.
I heard somebody on the radio. This is a rumor, but one of the reasons that some of the guys didn't like Russell Wilson a few years ago was because he was like running around and don't smoke weed, guys. And they're like, shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, that played really well.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's time then.
It's time?
It's playing on the computer so they can hear it, but not us. It's the Howard Show Clown of the Week.
I love that song so much.
Yeah,
It hurts me that I can't hear it.
They can hear it, but we can't. All right, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first, and I feel a little bit bad about this, given that they're in the Final Four.
Yeah.
But Mick Cronin, you are a lucky fuck. The UCLA head coach.
Yeah.
You are so lucky that Johnny Juzang saved your ass in overtime against Michigan, because when you're up by 3 with whatever it was, 5 seconds left, you gotta fucking foul and send him to the line. And I don't know
shitty
why
basketball, but you gotta do it.
I don't know why Bob Marley was 6 feet off the guy when he took that
By the
shot.
way, it's not just his hair. His face actually
looks like Bob Marley.
I did a side, they really look alike.
They do.
And this isn't like a white guy talking about 2 black guys thing. They really look alike.
Yeah, they do. And I think that's on purpose on his part. Like, he really
he embraces it. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I like that guy. I don't know what
Great
the fuck
player,
his name
too.
is. Yeah, he's a good player.
Oh, yeah, he is kind of an interesting name, too. I forget.
But, and then he there was an issue, too, where he should have called a timeout while Juzang was getting taped up.
Yeah.
So, Michigan scored.
It's Tiger Campbell. Tiger with a Y.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, goddamn. That guy is my fucking hero.
Yeah.
Even though
that's so great.
Got to play better defense in that situation.
But
yeah, so Cronin should have called a timeout, so Juzang wasn't out, and Michigan gets back into the game. And then to just let them have an open look at a 3, and with that little time left, you got to foul.
That's rough.
I'm still mad at Romar for not fouling in the Sweet 16 like 15 years ago. Again, that's why UW didn't advance beyond the Sweet 16. I just don't.
I will say,
why the hell would you not do that?
I will say, it's a little hard to call a guy a clown of the week when he just advanced to the Final Four and beat a number 1 seed.
Despite him. Yeah. The truth is, I couldn't think of a great clown of the week. But I was so mad in that moment.
Oh yeah,
because I was sure they were gonna lose.
And then fucking Mo Wagner's brother, whatever his name, just the worst open 3-point attempt of all time. Like, didn't even touch net air ball.
That was so bad.
Yeah. All right. Well,
German guys. That's the first German guy to ever shoot an air ball. By the way, in the history of basketball.
Yeah. What's Jakob Pertl? Jakob Pertl is, if he's German, you have something to see. I'll show you. I can't show it on the podcast. Okay. He's Austrian, I think. So you're good because he airballed 2 free throws in a row yesterday.
So was Hitler. So.
Jesus Christ. No, he airballed 2 free throws in a row yesterday.
Oh.
2 in a row. He shoots it with one hand. It's really weird. Anyway, all right. Moving on. My clown of the week this is my first ever double clown of the week.
Oh.
Twice of the same situation, double clown of the week. Not just I have 2 separate ones. So the first one, I can't show it unfortunately because of copyright. Terrible call in the Baylor versus UConn game. The Baylor.
Oh, the women's game?
Yeah. Women's game. Terrible foul in the women's game. The Baylor player just got hacked, and you can see LeBron and a bunch of other people tweeting. Everyone was tweeting about it. So
they called a travel. Is that the one where they called a travel?
No. That was a while ago.
Okay.
Where she got just bulldozed.
Yeah.
Like no.
Pass
So this was
called for a travel.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw this one.
Final possession. I'll send you it after. Final possession. Should have got called a foul, and it caused them to lose.
This is one. I'll tell you, the foul on the last possession thing is something I've struggled with my whole life because there's part of me. There's the practical part of me that is like, and maybe not the practical part of me. There's part of me that's like, call the game the same way the whole fucking game, whether it's the last play or the first play.
Yeah.
But I also hate a game getting settled at the line. Like those two parts of me just really conflict,
Yeah. So that's clown of the week for that ref. I mean, people are saying you shouldn't be able to work the Final Four because that was an Elite Eight matchup, just for the record, I guess.
Okay.
So, I'm hoping that you guys will be able to hear this. I'll be able to. Okay. So, this is the Baylor coach after the game expressing her displeasure, to say the least, about the outcome of this game. Hold on, let me. Okay. There.
Kid hits her in the face and one kid hits her on the elbow.
What did you see when Dejanay drove the ball from where you were standing?
What did you see?
He's really struggling with that match.
I was
really,
surprised
really
they didn't call a foul.
Then write it like that.
Which we'll get to in a sec, actually. Okay, we're back. That was weird. We had this weird, just like lag spike. So yeah, you can see So she's pissed about the call too. Anyway, sorry, that was really weird. My computer just spazzed out. But the reason this is a double clown of the week is she had some regarding COVID testing.
Oh no.
You know what? I don't think my words matter, but after the games today, the 14 left, I think, on the men's and the women's side, they need to dump the COVID testing. So I don't know if she realizes that you can still have COVID even if you don't get tested for it. I think in her brain, the only time you actually have COVID is if you test positive. If you don't get tested, you don't have it in her mind.
I wonder if she's saying, we've been in this bubble for X number of days.
Yeah.
So we everybody here has it, but you can't count on that. Like,
No, it's
out or whatever the hell.
yeah. And the reason, I mean, to be honest, like I think she said it in a really dumb way, and also with her like southern accent, and really, and also with the way she was fidgeting with the mask, it just really was a bad look. But to be fair, I understand like a little bit of what she's saying, but it's just no one asked.
Yeah.
And also, you just lost. Like,
Yeah.
we talk about your team and how proud. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna defer to the scientists on that topic. Like, whatever side you're on, but I'm not very interested in hearing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just,
This is one of those things where it's not really-
yeah. Actually, my real clown of the week is Nick Cronin's dad.
What? Come on, bro. What are you doing? What? Why?
First of all, they show that guy. Is it like the dad
It's not his fault.
does he have a
Don't blame that Cronin for that.
we have to show him 800 times per game? And every time, dude, either wear the mask or don't.
There's no hot girls like
Like, his big ass nose is sticking out over that mask. Like, just,
I will say it's funny slowly seeing his delayed reactions compared to everyone.
yeah, exactly. He can't quite get his, he does a fist bump, he can't really get
Everyone around him is like, yeah, and then he's like, yeah. He just takes him a sec. He just takes
Yeah.
the process.
But the crowd thing at these games is tough because there isn't really a crowd.
I mean, who do you show?
It's either him or the nervous moms who look like they're gonna throw up.
Yeah,
That's my option. I don't want to see that
particularly
either.
yeah. I'm so okay. Why is he a clown? What the fuck?
Because he can't wear his fucking mask. That's why it's like below his nose. Take it off.
Oh my god, you're really fucking ridiculous.
We're not aware. I'd rather see him and his giant nose sticking out over the mask than moms ready to vomit. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of options there for them to show. I also, why do I have to see guys crying so much? Just don't show one quick shot and then come back to it. Just show the people celebrating.
Especially when they follow him, like in the tunnel.
I don't know how to see that. I need to see
Yeah,
that.
I mean, shout out Big Cat. He's just constantly tweeting. They're just kids. Like after every game, there's heartbreak. He just tweets, they're just kids. And then, I mean, it's called like it's me. Like it's,
Yeah.
like I would, I don't know. I mean, when I'm working for that my whole life, especially the guys when they know they're not gonna really have a great shot to play in the league, and they know that this is their last game in college. Like, yeah,
Stuff and you don't know you're losing until you lost.
Yeah.
So and then suddenly not only have you lost the game, but maybe some of those guys, maybe never play the game again for any sort of stake. So yeah. I hate that in high school too.
yeah.
I watch the kids walk off the court in high school because almost all of those guys aren't going anywhere. And man, it's like, yeah, that's it. You're done. It's tough to watch always.
All right, you want to do locker player first?
Lock of the week. So Gonzaga is going to win this game by 20 points. So sell points, increase your odds.
Okay.
This is going to be an ugly basketball game.
All right.
They're going to show, is it Hep Cronin?
Yeah, Cronin.
They're going to show him looking sad a lot. And we're going to see, Johnny Juzang is probably going to cry.
Yeah.
So I hope Gonzaga is just, is going to the, at least the Sweet 16 virtually every year.
Yeah.
Bitter as hell. I just think they have too much for UCLA. I think the tank's going to run out, in this game. So.
All right. Yeah, my lock of the week is going to be Mariners tonight.
Ooh, sweet. All right.
Give me the M's tonight. I just think, I think Marco's going to come out fiery. I think he's going to come out. He's going to come out and I think more inspired than he has any other year, just by virtue of, having a younger roster with some hope and some energy in there. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like give me the M's. By the way, score update while we've been podcasting. I believe there was a 2-run homer in the Yankees game. It was 2-1 Yanks over the Blue Jays.
All right.
Yeah, so that's my lock. Do you want to, Gary Sanchez, home run, 407 feet. Yeah, so I'll snake draft it to the play of the week. I'm going to go with the Mariner here, Taylor Trammell. Taylor Trammell, AL Rookie of the Year run starts right now.
Wow.
Starts today.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing the hype. I've been letting Mariners Twitter hype me up too much about Taylor Trammell, and I'm going with it. I'm falling head first. And the Taylor Trammell hype. Give me, I don't know how many games I actually played this week, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he'll get in 6 games before we podcast next. So I want to see 2 home runs from Taylor Trammell.
Nice. Okay.
Before
I would love to see that. I'd love to see some of these guys pan out. He seems like a great dude, really likable. So yeah, I'd love to see that happen for sure.
let's see who they got. They got Johnny Cueto pitching. Old fuck yeah. Taylor Trammell's in the homer tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Also James Paxton is pitching. Like literally an hour ago they had Marco Gonzalez on ESPN.
Oh.
And now it says Johnny Cueto versus James Paxton.
I wonder.
Wait. Oh, no. I'm wrong.
Oh, you're
I'm looking at the second. Today's the first.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, depending on who's pitching tonight, Kevin Gossett, fuck it, put on tonight.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you got anything else from
My player
Oh, yeah, sorry.
is Maceo Teague, Baylor guard.
Okay.
He's a senior.
Senior guard.
I love my senior guards. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to take down the mighty Gonzaga and have the New England Patriots.
You still got the confidence, huh?
I do. I just think I think they have an experienced backcourt. They've got 2 juniors and then Maceo being a senior. I think they're going to be the difference in the game. And I think Gonzaga is going to get tight. They're going to feel the pressure of the undefeated season of having to win a close game. Baylor's been there, done that. I think they're going to do it.
All right, I like it. You got anything else regarding baseball, football, basketball? I think those are what we talked about today.
No, I don't think there's anything else out there. I know that the Seahawks have done some interesting things with their contracts with avoidable years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess we should mention.
Dave Jackson got an extension.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if we talked about this last week, but they've just been really hitting it out of the park with the contract.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about them last. Was that right after the podcast?
Yeah, it was right after.
it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess right at the end here we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. And I'm not. It's funny. Like it's great. Glad they did it, especially for the number. Great poker move by John Schneider.
I'm worried this will give them too much confidence doing this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, they got all these guys under the cap, which is a crazy challenge.
Yeah.
Without you lose Jaron Reed. I don't think he's that great. Of course, I always say that after they beat
He's probably gonna have a good year just being alongside Frank Clark. By the way, seeing those two tear up together is gonna be really
really
neat.
tough. And who's
Yeah.
our other Chris? We have another
Chris, I almost said Chris Evans. Chris Jones.
Yeah, so he's like, so I think Jaron's gonna have a solid year. He lost $3 million with this move. So we'll see. But yeah, I like Dunlap. Really good player. I think some people So yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't see him as the savior, of the defense like people did last year. I think he was a part of that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
No, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I guess we both kind of been busy, so we didn't really get anything together to celebrate. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy that it's been a year, like to the day. It's wild. I guess that being said, once again, follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. And book is on Amazon. High Points, check it out. Goosehead Insurance, Aaron Coe. Other than that, I guess have a great week. We'll probably see you next Thursday. Probably. I think we're doing Thursdays now.
I think
pretty
so.
much.
That's what we're doing.
I think we're doing Thursdays now. Yeah, we haven't even talked about it yet, but yeah. All right, with that being said,